the meeting to order. Rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will have roll call. Alderman Dunwoody is not here tonight. Alderman Ravencraft.
Not here.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Here.
Alderman Turner. Here. Alderman Beal.
Here.
And I'm Rick Lewis. I am here. Mayor Slinker is absent tonight. Do I have a motion for the approval of the September 16th, 2025 minute meetings?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. Approval of tonight's agenda.
I'll move for the approval. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Special items, we have none. Appointments to board and commissions, we have none. Scheduled public comment. We have a Danny McKee. Okay, you may come to the podium and state your name and address.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to thank everybody for letting us speak to the council tonight. My name is Rick McKee. This is my brother Danny, and we're speaking on behalf of my mother, Sandra McKee, that owns the property at 403 Sunshine. And we're up here today to talk to you guys about the stormwater issue. Are you guys familiar with the term urban runoff? You know what that is? It's where you strip the grass, the vegetation from the soil, and you're putting down roads, putting in roots. You're increasing the amount of runoff and also the velocity of the runoff. And my mother has lived in this house over on 403 Sunshine since 1999. And we have dealt with Ken Efting when he was a city administrator, countless others after that. And I'm here today to show you a video that my brother took on July 30th. I'm sorry, I'm not very tech savvy, so the only thing I could get was on this laptop. This is a video of my mother's backyard. This is a rain that occurred on July 30th at about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning.
About a 30-minute rain, that's all it was.
I mean, we're talking an inch from coming into her house,
Quarter of an inch.
quarter of an inch.
And it had never been up on the patio. I mean, we've always had issues with it.
And there's always been water that's ran through there. We went in, we put in a French drain. Over time, the more development that's happening to the northeast of her property due to urban runoff that's increasing this.
It wrapped completely around her house. Like it would just travel through the back and go out after they built the veterinarian place and then the storage units. It rained, like I say, for 30 minutes, and I was standing there outside and there wasn't nothing. And then I looked out and it was about that far from coming in. It was up on the patio, and it even come around the upper side of the house, and it'll show it. And it'll show out front too. And the storage unit, we was told, is phase 1 of 4 phases, that they're gonna be building possibly 3 or 4 more phases up there. And I mean, I don't think it's an issue of when if the water's gonna get in the house, because like I said, this was a 30-minute rain. And if it would've kept raining, it was gonna come into the house.
Let me fast forward it. This is the west side of our house going out on the street on 403 Sunshine. I mean, there's nothing we can do with this. I mean, it's just a matter of time before water gets in her house. She's 83 years old. Her house is all she has, and she lives on Social Security. We don't have the know-how nor the money to fix this.
And we was told that at the end of the street down there goes to the school, that the school had actually put a berm up at the end of the street because they didn't want the water down on their football practice field. And the water was up to their cars sitting down there to the license plate. That's how high it got up. That was down at the end of the road at the bottom.
I mean, that's giving you guys a good idea of what we're dealing with. But like I said, there's no French drain, nothing that's gonna take care of that. And the only thing I could do is go along the backside of our property and dig a trench, and all that's gonna do is flood the neighbor's house. So, we are up here tonight to ask you guys to help us figure this out.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, from the video, that's not acceptable at all. Kevin, have you seen this?
Yeah, I've talked to Ms. McKee several times through the summer. I think the day after, I think we were talking and you were sending me the videos. We have contacted our consulting engineer. For sure there's a problem, but some of the mitigating factors are we don't own any infrastructure between the development and the house. What you're seeing on the street there, there's things we can do at the end of the street to convey that a little better, and we can and will do that. But as far as the backyard, I'm not quite sure at this point what we can do. We don't have an easement. The grade's there. There's not a lot we can do. We're gonna revisit this with the school and talk about the practice field, which Danny mentioned. Our options are limited from the city standpoint. I don't disagree at all. That's quite a problem, and I don't have any historical perspective to say that it's better or worse 5 years ago, or if in fact the development made it worse. I know the plan that was submitted, per our code, it's 25, you have to show you need a 25-year detention. I could even approach the 100-year detention, if I read that right. And then also, per the plan, the channelizing of the water wasn't that much different, but I'm not saying it can't be improved, but I'm saying due diligence was done through the permitting process as far as the stormwater goes. And as I said, our consulting engineer, we did have a meeting on this already, and she plans to walk with me on the site when she gets time. She's out of town for a week or two, so she can see it personally and see if she has any observations of what we can do from the city side to help mitigate this. But
You can go down to the school and do whatever you need to do, but that's not gonna affect
right.
the water that's coming from the northeast part.
Could I
And
interject
it
real quick? What about an idea of a retention pond on with the city controls? Start at the headwater.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, it's coming underneath the road that goes back to the Optimus, and that's where we need to start. And
And
I'm
I'm
very
thinking-
sure that you could get a hold of the property owners down through there, and they will give you whatever easements. I know you can do whatever on my mom's. I mean, that will not be an issue. I mean,
Is that a
it's-
flowing creek?
What?
Is that a flowing creek back there?
No.
Back behind? It's
No.
normally
It
dry.
comes from up at the
Yeah,
funeral home, like I say, and then they did the Barner and then put that veterinarian place in there, and it got worse, but it never did get up. And then when they put the they put them storage units up there. And the only reason we know a lot of, we just kind of figuring a lot of it out is because my mom got sick and I've been living with her. And I happened to be there, and it come rain that morning, and like I say, it got up within a quarter of an inch coming in the house and was around east side of the house, coming out on that side of the street, and down below, and it was like she was in an island. You know, sitting in the middle of the water. And I've talked to the neighbor up to the east side, and there's two neighbors, and they said they got the same problem. It floods you can see it floods their property too.
I mean, water's always went through there, guys, and it's been more of a nuisance. You'd have to wait a day or two before you can mow. But we're way past nuisance.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, we're at the point about ruining a damn house. And there's nothing that my mother has done. I mean, it's all coming from development and the city issuing permits to the northeast of her property.
And you're talking about the storage units, right?
The storage units, yeah, I mean, that's happened since the storage units has been in. And my brother talked to the guy, and he said that he was notified of the situation, and his engineer drew up a detention pond up there somewhere. But as you can tell, I mean, it's not being effective.
We've developed around town, and we've had to put detention ponds in, and we've had to redo them because they didn't do their job before. So, you know, I'll say that. But it's like I say, since they built that storage units up there, that
We're
happened.
told this is one of 3 or 4 phases of it.
Correct.
So it's just gonna get worse.
And I just wonder if, I guess our building person isn't here tonight, but, you know, with the plans that they submitted, if they're following those plans, that's something we could look into to make sure that, and, you know,
And
fingers crossed, hopefully, as they complete more phases, they'll complete more of the detention ponds too, and hopefully that will help some.
Well, I've seen them up there in the last couple of days doing a lot of dirt work up there along the front. I don't know what they're doing. You know, like I said, we developed land and built, you know, builders our whole life,
But that's
and
definitely
you gotta
something.
deal with it. But like I said, this happened, and like I say, it was 30 minutes, and it was,
I remember that, right?
and the lady, even everybody on the street come down there and said, I've never seen it like this before, and I said, no, we haven't either. So we figured we'd come up here and
What would be idea would be to go up on the road that goes back to the Optimus where the pipe comes under the road and try to catch it there and start doing something with it. I mean, that's gonna be the only way that, you know, we're gonna be able to do anything with it.
the neighbor below her on the west side, they come in up down there and had Stacy Salter put a.
This is people that owned it before.
Yeah, this is not the people that owns it now, but they went in there and put right on the bottom side of the fence, they put probably a 18-inch pipe. And they piped it out and took it to the road. And they cut the road out. And the water road flows through it and then comes out right there on the road,
And I'm quite sure it's washing
underneath the
underneath the
road.
road.
Well, gentlemen, I'm not the city attorney, but your video does speak very strongly, it's very persuasive. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. These water drain off things it's a multivariable problem. It's not a switch that you flip over here.
Mhm.
It does involve looking at multiple things. It's a more complicated thing. I'm certainly not a civil engineer. The city civil engineering, consulting engineer will look at it for you. We're happy to touch base with you and follow up. I think council's opinion is quite clear. They're not happy with this. I'm not happy with it. It will require some thought and some time. We can't promise you any sort of result. What we can promise you is give it some attention and try and understand the problem. I imagine we might contact you all if you're clearly knowledgeable about the situation. If it is in fact a problem on somebody else's property, that does limit our legal ability. We can't make folks do it. But we do have retention ponds. They do get rebuilt, as your own experience shows. So I think you've made your point quite well.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you
Appreciate
guys
y'all
very
coming
much
in.
for your
Thank you for
time.
your time.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Please pass along our best wishes to your mother.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Okay, public hearings, we have none. We'll address Council Bill number 2025-35, an ordinance of the City of Ashland, Missouri, amending the city code regarding placement of chicken coops near dwellings.
All right, as you recall from last meeting, we had a resident in to discuss our current restrictions for the placement of chicken coops. Alderman Beal made a recommendation to amend that ordinance. After the meeting, we had some email communication from a few other board members with some thoughts, so we kind of took all those thoughts and had Todd and crew draft those into an ordinance. So you have a reading of it tonight for discussion and further consideration and amendment. But this should fix the issue that was raised at the last meeting and also addresses some of the other issues raised by some of the aldermen.
I would just point out, Alderman Beal asked for a reduction from 100 feet to 25 feet. Easy change, it does that. The lower sections, this was raised, I forget which alderman, but it reflects a common problem. Rules about where you can put chicken coops are easy on a normal lot. You know, you got a lot that's a square, the house is in front, and there's no debate about where the front yard is. This becomes complicated when you have a corner lot. Sometimes the houses are oriented in a different way. Sometimes the front and back of a house are not clear. So some of those other provisions attempt to clarify that because we have encountered that before. But it's a first reading, and the idea is that you all could talk about it and give further direction with the thought that if we need to make further changes, we can do that. It'll be on the agenda in 2 weeks for final passage if it gets through the first reading. But that's where we're at.
Okay. I am the alderman that brought up that, and it's mainly on the side yards.
Yeah.
I live in an area that has a lot of cul-de-sacs.
Yep.
And my neighbor right behind me has one, so.
And I tell you,
Did not want to pass something that would automatically put him out of.
no, you did
compliance.
it was very perceptive. In fact, the last city that I did this for, we wound up with diagrams. Because again, it's easy to make rules for a normal lot, but when you start talking about odd shapes, odd orientations of houses, odd architecture, it becomes more complicated. But anyway, our hope is at the point here is to make it easier to have a chicken coop in Ashland, which is, I guess, the point.
Mhm. My only concern in reading through this is under section 1, number 1, that the coops placed in the side yard shall be no more than 1 foot away from the primary dwelling structure.
Okay.
That, I would suggest that we just eliminate that, as that sounds like it'd be the only place you could put it is right against your yard.
We left that one
House.
specifically because if you were to look at our zoning regulations for yard configurations, your side yard is your narrowest yard generally.
I'm thinking of my neighbor and, you know.
He's got 100-foot side yard.
Yeah,
So
he's got
plenty of room
100-foot
to
side
play
yards,
with.
yeah, so, this would automatically put him out of compliance.
What is the side yard setback, 25 foot?
It depends on the zoning district. It's pretty tight though.
I thought it was like 7 foot for my side.
That sounds right.
So if you put a coop 1 foot off your property line, and it's a 5 foot wide coop, you got a foot.
Not everybody's house is, like you said.
Yeah,
Some
I'm just
that
saying,
very-
I'm
the house
thinking
may
about,
not be
you're
centered.
thinking about your neighbor, I'm thinking about mine.
Right.
Like,
Well, this is the problem. You would think this would be a simple issue. Another thing that comes up, and I'm not a chicken coop expert, is the run, I believe is the proper term. You have this thing that juts out the front of the house where the chickens go. And so the footprint of a chicken coop, which, you know, when I think of it, I think of the doghouse, forgive me, looking thing. There's more to it than that, apparently.
Oh, corn and soybeans, I don't mess with chickens.
Yes, sir.
Most side yards, you would not be able to have a chicken coop period just from the 25-foot perspective, but for those that have wider side yards.
So wouldn't that cover that if we just eliminate number 1?
In most situations, I believe so.
We can do that.
Okay. I will make a motion that we amend this ordinance to eliminate number 1. Do I have a second?
Second from, very good.
Okay.
I have a question. Chickens shall be kept in the rear of their primary drawing structure. Is that like a term of art that I'm not familiar with, or is that supposed to be dwelling?
That's just a typographic error.
Excuse me.
Okay.
It's a roll call vote on that amendment.
Roll call vote, all right. So we are voting on the amendment to the ordinance. Alderwoman Ravenscraft,
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
So I will remove subsection 1. They'll now just be 1, 2, 3. What is presently 2 will become 1. Change drawing to dwelling, change the year at the bottom. And I just made those changes. I'll email that to the city.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Now I will entertain a motion to approve the amended ordinance. Anyone?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Alderwoman Ravenscraft,
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes. Next, we have Council Bill number 2025-36, an ordinance vacating a drainage easement on lot 733C of Liberty Landing subdivision, Plat 7, Plat Book 32, page 7. Staff report.
So you have two items that go together here. You have a vacation of an easement and then an acceptance of a new easement. We have a residential lot down in Liberty South that has a stormwater pipe on that lot. As they went to build the house on this lot, they discovered the pipe does not rest within that easement. So you have an action item first to vacate the existing easement, and that easement was redrawn for the second item to accept. So first item would be to vacate the existing easement that does not have a pipe in it and has no service to the city.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I move for approval of Council Bill 2025-36.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, right? Alderwoman Ravenscraft.
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
And I vote aye. And Council Bill number 2025-37, the ordinance authorizing the acceptance of the easement for drainage purposes.
So again, this is the new easement that aligns with the pipe that is in the ground.
Right?
I will move for its approval.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Ravenscraft.
Aye.
Alderman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Under old business, ordinance number 1531, an ordinance of the city of Ashland, Missouri, authorizing the implementation of the Home Perk Employer Assisted Housing Program as an employee benefit. Staff report.
This is the second reading. We had the first reading a couple weeks ago. Nothing has changed. The contract, the policy, everything went to Lauber to review. I didn't get any feedback. Everything looked good. So we're just waiting for approval, and then Josh Kaplan's gonna come down and start educating our employees on usage of it. And again, it's no fee to the city and in no way places the city under any obligation to repay employees' loan.
Very good. Do I have a motion?
I will move for second reading.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Alderwoman Ravenscraft.
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Ordinance number 1532, an ordinance vacating a drainage easement on Lot 733C of Liberty Landing subdivision, Plat 7, Plat Book 32, page 7. So this is second reading of what we just discussed.
I will move for second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Alderwoman Ravenscraft.
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
And I vote aye. And ordinance number 1533, an ordinance authorizing the acceptance of an easement for drainage purposes. Again, second reading.
I'll move for second reading.
Thank you. Have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Alderwoman Ravenscraft.
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay, we have resolution number 2025-51, a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a janitorial services agreement with First Class Window Cleaning. Staff report, please.
So the employees all take turns cleaning City Hall, the entire building. And as hard as we try, we still aren't able to really keep up with everything. So we did put an RFQ out for janitorial services for this building. We received 3 bids back. One person went ahead and withdrew their quote or their bid, and the other one was too much money. So we chose First Class Window and Cleaning. We had a discussion with our chief of police. He passed the background checks for the chief of police, which is very important, so they can make sure that the police department is well kept as well as this area. And so we would like to request that the board authorize the mayor to sign a contract, which again has been reviewed by Law, for us to have the service come in once a month on Thursdays to clean our entire building and then do a deep clean of the building twice a year.
Just that they come to my house afterwards.
Now, in the event that the rest of our building becomes vacated, that's not included in this contract right now, is it?
No.
Do we have to amend
No.
that?
No, it's not included in this contract.
But it would include the police department.
Yes.
So when the bank moves out and the water department moves up there, it will include that?
This contract is good for 1 year. We'll reevaluate after that year is up. They're not scheduled to, their lease isn't up until December. And I don't know yet if they intend on extending it. As you recall, we did offer them the option to extend it at least month to month until their building was done or they were ready to move in. Which will be close to then us approving next year's fiscal budget. So I think at that time we can revisit that. And we don't know if we're going to actually get another runner or not. And that's a discussion between the city administrator and you guys.
Okay. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
This is
Going to be a roll call?
just
Just
voice.
vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. Resolution number 2025-52, a resolution accepting the quote from Jeffries Electrical Services Incorporated for the Baptist Home Transfer Switch replacement.
Thank you, board members. Seeking authorization to approve $7,550 in electrical services from Jeffries Electrical for Baptist Home Lift Station. The automatic transfer switch that powers, that transfers power from normal utility to generator power for the Baptist Home Lift Station has failed and needs to be replaced. The quote provides for the installation of a new 100 amp fuse, service disconnect, and ESCO transfer switch. Only one quote was obtained for this work because other entities cannot source this specific breaker that fits our equipment. This equipment's been not functioning since about midsummer, So we gave it plenty of time to try and source it ourselves and look elsewhere, but we're spinning our wheels, so we're just gonna move forward. Currently, without a functioning ATS, the generator at the lift station can't provide backup power. It doesn't do anything, it's a code anchor. So, for that reason, I recommend approval.
This is common, Todd, that we provide this service.
This is
our lift station.
It's our stuff. So all these pumps require backup power. If the power goes out and the pump doesn't work, you just have the water tower providing pressure. They're really designed to keep a lineman from getting electrocuted, because when the generator kicks on to energize the pump, that power can't go back onto the system. And so they are ridiculously expensive. I have encountered these before, like, because in my mind, it's just a little like toggle switch. Turns out it's more complicated. It's a solenoid. It has to be safety rated and flip over. I absolutely think we need to make sure that this pump will work in a power failure. $7,000, $7,500 is a lot, but I have encountered these being expensive before. Am I right about the back?
Absolutely, 5 stars, 5 stars.
I'm actually really impressed.
An ATS switch has 2 motors. It energizes from each side. There's a motor to energize and a motor to re-energize. They're not like a small breaker, although there's a breaker involved in this work. The ATS itself has failed, and when these things fail, they just do. It would cost more money to try and figure out why it failed than it is to replace the equipment. Happens to soft starts, to VFDs. This is one of those in that bucket that you just move on and you just replace it.
Not good to me, I was just making sure it's the city's responsibility.
Keep in mind, our lift stations
It's our-
are generally named after the location that they sit, so these are all ours when we come in here talking about them.
And the Ashland water system is very complicated. You've got like 20 lift stations, I think. A bunch. And that's just a function of piecemeal things, but no, I wholeheartedly recommend we do this. I understand it's expensive, I understand it seems like a minor part, but it's not.
Okay, any other questions? Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Resolution passes. Moving on to reports, mayor's report. Mayor is gone. I have no report as alderman. City administrator's report.
Just again, we went out to Baptist Home last week. That was a very good tour, very cool facility with their new skilled nursing facility that they've opened up. If anyone does want to get out there still, please let us know and we can try and coordinate another tour. But I think for those of us that were out there, we're very impressed with the facility. We're very excited to have it here in town. Other than that, I know Darren and staff met with Club Car Wash a couple weeks ago. I know that's been floating around, so that meeting went very well with their engineering team. Obviously, it's the engineering team. It's not necessarily ownership or the permitting team, but we do anticipate that moves forward to permitting fairly quick so they can start construction.
Very good. City attorney's report.
No report tonight.
Thank you. Public Work Director, monthly report.
Thank you, Board. Under the Streets Department, a Streets Department employee is transferred from the Streets Department to the Sewer Department. We're actually, we love that. We'd rather have a transfer than someone to leave our organization, so we encourage that. And so far, he's been doing outstanding. The empty position is now posted for the Streets Department. Under other items for the Streets Department, Liberty Lane striping is scheduled to be in mid-October. Again, that had to sit for at least a month on the short side before we could stripe it, get paint to stick to it. Citywide street sweeping is scheduled for, it's floating around, but sometime in November, where we actually rent a street sweeper and hit everyone's streets in town. Teakwood Storm Catch Basin was rebuilt. That collapsed, I think, in May of this spring. Those panels and that structure was finally rebuilt. So we're checking that one off the list. About 60 new street signs are to be installed, with a larger order still being placed for this fall and throughout the winter. So you've seen them, there's signs all over the place we're gonna get to. Under stormwater, the Oak Street stormwater project is starting to wrap up. Public Works has easement clearing that's not directly related to it, however, it's nearby. Caspian Stormwater Community Stakeholder Meeting was held October 2nd. That was where the community had a chance. All the stakeholders alongside the Caspian Storm Basin were able to talk to city staff and engineering, and it was a good chance for everyone to touch base and get on the same page. I think it went well. Under park improvements, the damaged tire spring was replaced at City Park. We've also received a dedicated slide partition for the deleted slide. It looks better than our plywood does, so we received that. Fall Fest, I think, was highly successful in spite of the heat. Under the sewer for wastewater treatment plant, the plant expansion project is still tracking on time for about a 2026 mid-year significant completion date, so they're still tracking on time. A sewer utility supervisor position is currently open until filled. That position's sewer certification allows us to migrate away from Boone County Rural Sewer District, which we had planned for a long time. The number of mechanical maintenance items were facilitated at the plant to include belt press sections and lots of other gear. You're not gonna make any sense. This grid screw gearbox, which you allowed me to order a couple months ago, we're still waiting. We're hopefully to get that in the next 2 weeks. Old lagoon equipment has been cleared out, which you also authorized for sell for scrap. That's all been cleaned out. The detention basin was pumped out. A project to replace 3 outdated and troublesome lift station control panels is in the works, and you'll hear from me about those soon. And I'm working on a bid to grout seal the sanitary sewer section over on Ash Street.
One thing to add for his report that he forgot to mention for parks is he did some sidewalk grinding to address that issue you brought up last meeting.
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Water Supervisor's monthly report.
Mr. Mayor, members of the board, my report's in your packet. It's business as usual. Starting to pick back up with meters. It slowed down whenever it was really hot, but we're starting to pick back up. Other than that, that's really all I got. Like I said, my report's in your packet. Anyone have any questions?
Is that why we don't have any water pressure in South Winds? Because we don't have a switch that works?
That's not it.
That's not it.
Okay, thank you. Board of Aldermen report. Alderwoman Ravenscraft,
No report.
Alderwoman Colbert,
No report.
Alderman Turner,
No report.
Alderman Beal.
I had a couple of folks reach out to me. There's evidently been some troubles with the Baptist homes and like doubling people's rents or whatever. Has the city gotten any complaints about that?
It's the first time here.
Okay, evidently there's like a number of people moving out because they've decided to double rent out there. So I don't think there's much we can do, but I think there are citizens of the town that are not very happy at the moment.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing through our church, that apparently the rents went up 210% with very short notice. So a lot of people are having to find other places to live. Okay. Is that it?
That's all for me.
Okay, and I have no report. General comments by the public. Do we have it?
Am I allowed to ask a couple questions?
Sure, come on, come to the podium, state your name and address.
Sure. My name is Pamela Booth. My address is 507 Fall Court, so I apologize. I feel like you guys have gotten in the middle of a neighbor issue. I had a neighbor this summer that had 15 chickens and a turkey. And it smelled very, very bad, so I did call. They told me to check back in if it wasn't fixed. So when I called back was when they actually were coming over the fence. And I had to catch them. So I would like you to continue your discussion. Maybe it's 10 feet away from the property line, something that keeps them out of harm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not opposed at all to chickens. I had chickens when I lived in the country, when my children were little. I think people enjoy them, and I'm not at all opposed, but my dog chased them around the yards, and then I had to fight the dog, so I would like that to not happen.
And I appreciate you emailing me. I had I got it this morning, just hadn't
No,
had a chance to
totally
read it.
fine, I was like, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk or not, so I will let you all. So, yes, I would just like that you continue that discussion and find a good outcome for everyone.
How many chickens do they have now?
They have none now. After they were ticketed, they removed them.
With this new ordinance, they're only supposed to have 5,
I
right?
was gonna say.
I think they were only ever supposed to have 5.
They were.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever supposed to.
And they weren't supposed to have a turkey, but
And I was gonna say.
we don't know until we know.
We don't have any.
I don't think the turkey was allowed.
Yeah, so in 100 degree feet, you can
Do we
just
have
imagine
anything
the way that
prohibiting
smelled, and my back fence
yeah.
is
Okay.
28 feet from my back house, so to sit on the patio this summer, you couldn't do because
It was really hot, so.
It was, but when it rains, it's the same smell, so again, like Columbia has, 10 feet away from property lines. So maybe that should be part of the discussion.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for the comments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
as Rick did after the last meeting, if you have thoughts or comments that we should contemplate as we redraft this ordinance, just send them over. That way we're kind of prepared for you guys to have some further discussion next meeting.
Okay. Anyone else? If not, do we need to go into closed session tonight?
I can give you an update. I don't need any direct action. It's up to you.
I think we would like an update probably.
Yeah,
An
that's an
update
update.
at least.
No problem.
Okay, we need a vote to go into closed session now.
I'll move that we go into closed session.
Second.
Alderwoman Ravenscraft.
Before you call that vote, you need to state the reasons.
Oh, okay. Pursuant to chapter 610.021, number 1, legal actions, causes of action, or litigation involving governmental body and any confidential or privileged communications between a public governmental body or its representatives and its attorney. And chapter 610.021, hiring, firing, disciplining, or promoting of particular employees by a government body, public governmental body, when personal information about the employee is discussed or recorded. Yeah.
You've got your motion in second, so you can go ahead.
Alderman Ravenscraft.
Aye.
Alderwoman Colbert.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Beal.
Aye.
I vote aye. Okay, we're back into open session. A report, no action was taken during closed session. Does anyone have anything else?
I would move for adjournment.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Aye.
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 Isn't it? Aye. Isn't it just a
Yeah,
voice
aye.
Is it a voicemail?
Aye.